All right, Rag Boy from Rake 9, and I got my buddy RJ. And RJ and I, we just drove 1,675 miles, about 30 hours worth of driving. And a little bit about this trip. One, we're taking this trip to visit the World Wake Surf Championships, but also to go to the Taiga Owners Reunion at Lake Mead, Echo Bay. We launched at Echo Bay. That was a lot of fun. And the thing is, we took two different directions to really test our rig setup that we have here, which we're going to talk about in a second. First, to go there, we went from where we are here in Magalia, we went over Highway 70. This is along a river, turns anywhere from 25 to 40 mile an hour, sweeper turns, the speed limit's about 60 miles an hour, all the way up to Grey Eagle, all the way over to Portola, down into Reno. Then we head across to Fernley, find the 95 in Nevada, and then head 95 south. 95 is interesting because there's a lot of elevation changes, and the speed limit is 70 to 75 miles an hour, and there's no trailer restriction on the speed limit, so you can really go fast. Really testing out how this thing can go and pass, going up and down hills. Amazing tests. And then when we came back, we came the same direction up the 95, but then instead of going over the 70, we took the 80 through Reno and over the Donner Pass. Okay, and then Donner Pass, we got off on the 20 and go through Nevada City, and that road from the Donner Pass where the 80 is down to Nevada City is a very steep downhill, pretty treacherous road. Let's talk about our rig, because we prepared for this trip because we didn't want to tow with our normal big truck. As you can see, the trucks we had before, we had a half-ton GMC Sierra, 2002 Sierra with a 5.3 liter engine. That truck won't tow this boat. We got a Granatelli pull hard kit, gave it an extra like 60 horsepower. We had to do exhaust, cold air intake, coil wires, and then it could pull this boat. But the brakes on that truck don't work very good, and you combine that with the surge brakes on here, and it was kind of scary. Remember, we took it all the way to Oregon, and we went up the Siskiyou grade, and we both came back and said, we're not doing that again. The truck combination with the surge brakes, it wasn't good. So a lot of sway too, remember that? And so anyway, so what we did is we went to California Trailer Works. This is a DHM trailer when we bought the boat in 2007. Now California Trailer Works has this really cool upgrade for the surge brakes. They do an electronic over hydraulic conversion. You can see the unit, and basically it's about a $1,200 upgrade, and you basically get full electric brakes for your trailer instead of using surge. When we first got it on, we tried it around town. It made a huge difference. I mean, when you stop, the brakes just work, just like a normal electric trailer. The only thing that we noticed is that they were kind of jerky. Remember, when we first got them, they were kind of jerky. We were adjusting the gain, and it worked perfectly with the Ford built-in trailer controller, and it was just a little jerky. When we go into the settings, it's like an iPod on your dash on the Ford, and we go into the settings, and there's a setting to set it either for electric brakes or electric over hydraulic brakes. We made that setting. The brakes smoothed out a lot, so it worked really well. We're going to show you some video right now of Steven from California Trailer Works talking about this module. So I called Steven, who now with California Trailer Works, they took over DHM, and he's got a setup, instead of me having to buy a whole new trailer, how we can upgrade the surge brakes to an electric system. So we'll let Steven tell us how that works and how we're going to install it.
Okay, thanks. Right now the trailer has surge brakes on it, and the way that these brakes work is the inertia of the trailer and boat pushing against the truck as you slow down compresses this piston right here, and as it slides back and forth, it pushes brake fluid out to the hydraulic brakes at the wheel. Now that system works generally well on most smaller boats, most ski boats. You get into these real large wakeboarding boats like the Taiga 24 VE and some of the bigger ones, and it just doesn't have quite as much braking power, and the main thing is it doesn't allow you to have control over the brakes.
Right.
When you do a lot of mountainous driving, things like that, you can overwork your brakes. You can smoke the bearings and that kind of thing because you just don't have control. So what we're talking about, what we're going to install on the trailer is an electric over hydraulic system like this one, where you take electricity from the truck and you generate hydraulic pressure through this pump that runs the brakes at the wheel. Now, so you use the brake controller in the F-150, like the tow command that the F-150 has,
right,
and hook through the 7-way plug. You get 2 legs of power coming into the Hydrostar. This is a Carlisle Hydrostar HBA12, and so that power there pushes out the brake fluid at up to 1200 psi, and you have total control over it because of the in-cab control. So the brakes do not come on until you either put your foot on the brake pedal or squeeze the manual lever on the controller, and you have full control to dial them up and down according to your driving and the conditions at hand. So what we will do is immobilize the slide on the current actuator here, and then mount this pump. In this case, in your application, we'll be mounting the pump down here behind the spare tire and wheel.
Come around over here, man.
So that you don't have any boat clearance issues, and then rewire, replummet, and rebleed the brakes so that now this will be your brake controller instead of the surge brake.
And you mentioned a small emergency battery?
Yes, in addition to the Hydrostar pump, we mount a battery and a breakaway switch because the Department of Transportation requires that all trailers with brakes have a breakaway system, which basically includes a cable that gets pulled out in the event of a trailer separation. And in this case, because it's an electrically actuated system, it has a battery, like a little gel cell, like a motorcycle battery, that then would power the pump unit after a separation.
Does the emergency battery charge off of the system? So you?
Yes, and part of the whole system includes a charging module in it so that whenever you're plugged to the truck, the battery's being charged.
So if somebody has a system, a trailer like mine, and they want to do this upgrade, what would California Trailer Works normally charge for this kind of an upgrade?
Typically, the Hydrostar system is a $1,200 to $1,300 installation, depending on the exact mounting.
So that includes the parts and
includes parts and labor.
So
yeah,
parts and labor about $1,200 or so. Got it. And if somebody that's watching this that isn't within a couple hours of here, is this something they could order from you and do it themselves at home? Do you have?
Certainly. The wiring can be a little bit challenging if you've never worked with wiring before, but it is certainly something that anyone with a little bit of know-how can install themselves. And it's a great installation. I mean, you'd be really impressed with the braking power with this system compared to surge brakes. Especially in the heavier boats,
yeah,
you really tell a difference immediately with your ability to stop and your control over the brakes. And there's really not much of a lag in these either. These pumps have really come a long way since they were first invented. The brakes are there, they're immediate, and they're impressive.
Cool, so what we're gonna do is, Steven, they're gonna install this for me, and then we're going to the World Wake Surfing Championships, which is gonna be all the way in Parker, Arizona from where we are near Chico. So, I mean, we're going straight over like Donner Pass, and then gonna take like the 95 or the 395 partially down. So lots of grades, heat. It's gonna be a great test. So we're gonna see how it goes. And then we're going to let you see how it works. Okay, so anyway, surf safe. Check out this California Trailer Works brake conversion. Best we've spent in a long time. Signing out.
What?